Dan Qing Xuan, Pempetisyen ke-6.
Okay, thank you. Pempetisyen ke-7.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Fong Long Choi, Pempetisyen ke-7.
Okay, nanti bow dulu ya, baru bercakap ya. Okay, thank you. Ya, mahkamah juga ingin mengingatkan semua pihak agar kekal di kedudukan masing-masing dan tidak menutup video walaupun setelah selesai giliran. Diminta kerjasama tuan-puan agar tidak melayari live streaming di YouTube berdekatan tuan-puan di dalam bilik yang sama semasa prosiding sedang berjalan kerana dikhawatiri akan mengganggu sistem rakaman audio. Dengan izinnya Arif, mohon untuk panggil pempetisyen pertama. Nombor pempetisyen WA 18-1449-10-2012 Fatin Hamim binti Ridwan. Sila perkenalkan diri anda.
Dengan izinnya Arif, saya Fatin Hamim binti Ridwan, pempetisyen yang pertama.
Silakan Puan Hindun.
Dengan izinnya Arif, saya Hindun Muhammad, saya hadir bagi mewakili pempetisyen pertama yang ini, Fatin Hamim binti Ridwan. Yang Arif, rakan-rakan saya yang bijaksana mewakili tiga-tiga badan yang berkenaan. Izin saya memperkenalkan mereka. Hadir bagi pihak yang berhormat Peguam Negara, Puan Izni Iliana binti Zainal.
Saya Arif.
Hadir bagi pihak Majlis Peguam, Cik Tan Seng Chong.
Yang Arif.
Dan hadir bagi Jatuan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur, Puan Anita Natalia.
Dato.
Yang Arif, izinkan saya memberi sedikit latar belakang secara memperkenalkan pempetisyen ini yang berhasrat untuk diterima masuk sebagai Peguam Bela, Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya. Yang Arif, saya mohon izin untuk meneruskan dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Dipersilakan.
With the court's leave. Your humble petitioner, my lord, Fatin Hamim binti Ridwan, was born on the 7th of October 1988 in Seremban, Negeri Sembilan, the youngest child of the late Major Ridwan bin Karim and Madam Rohana binti Shabuddin. She attended school in Seremban, both primary and secondary. Your humble this is a speech as she has written it, my lord, and I'm reading it as it is. Your humble petitioner said she would like to be thoroughly honest about her aspiration to join the legal field. From a young age, she had always taken an interest in music and watching law-related TV shows. Memorizing song lyrics have helped her with her vocabulary, and watching TV series such as Ally McBeal and Boston Legal had inspired her to get into the field of law. Little did she know back then that the reality of the legal system is much more colorful than these TV shows. Your humble petitioner later pursued her dreams to become a legal practitioner by enrolling herself to read law at the International Islamic University, Malaya, IIUM, in the year 2007. She graduated with second-class upper honors in May 2011. On the 1st of June of that year, she was appointed as a federal counsel at the Advisory Division of the Attorney General's Chambers, Aegis Chambers. After almost 2 years of her service at the Aegis Chambers, she received a certificate from the Attorney General to the effect that she is a fit and proper person to be admitted as an advocate and solicitor. Your petitioner has always been adventurous and ready to take up new challenges. And this was proven when she applied to be transferred to Kuching High Court as Senior Assistant Registrar in April 2013. Without any relatives or friends in Kuching, she quickly adapted to her new surroundings and welcomed the adventures of Sarawak. During her tenure at the Kuching Courts Complex, among other tasks that were handled by the petitioner, she had also proudly assisted Yang Arif Dato Rosaria binti Bujang, Yang Arif Dr. Haji Alwi bin Haji Abdul Wahab, and Yang Arif yang berbahagia Datuk Stephen Chung Thian Guan in managing civil and criminal matters. After 3 memorable years in the Kuching High Court, your petitioner continued her career as the Senior Assistant Registrar at the Kuala Lumpur Courts Mediation Centre, KLCMC. Your petitioner took on this role between May 2019 until June this year. She received her accreditation as mediator by the Rhodes University, Canada in 2017, and since then has increased her passion for mediation. Your petitioner, my lord, has successfully resolved thousands of cases throughout her service at KLSCMC and received Anugerah Pekerja Cemerlang in 2018. During the movement control order brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic, your petitioner assisted the mediation department in developing an SOP for the cases to be successfully heard and managed remotely. Today, your petitioner wishes to take this opportunity to express her utmost gratitude to God for the incredible journey. Sad that your humble petitioner's father, Major Ridwan, is no more, but she would like to record her thanks to her much-loved parents, especially her mother, Madam Rohana, for her endless prayers and encouragement, without which your petitioner would not have been able to achieve any of the milestones in her life. She said no words can illustrate how thankful she is to her parents for their love and sacrifices. She would also like to remember her sisters, Mimi, Maisara, and Mona, for always being her confidant and source of inspiration. She would like to thank her amazing, this is the person she called her amazing superhero, who is also her beloved husband, Mr. Jeffrey Harris bin Ramli, for his unconditional love, support, and patience. His optimism, sacrifices, and sleepless nights accompanying the petitioner completing her workloads have been a positive keynote, symbiotic to the petitioner in achieving her dreams. Your petitioner would also like to thank all her mentors, superiors, and colleagues in the Judicial and Legal Service, especially the KL Courts Mediation Center. She is grateful for the opportunities and guidance she has received throughout her career. Her humble experience as part of the Judicial and Legal Service has enabled her to see the great art of patience and persuasion beyond what she had learned in law school and on TV. She would like to give special thanks to all her friends for always being there for her in good and bad times. My lord, your petitioner would like to remember all her teachers and lecturers who have effectively instilled a burning desire for her to continually grow as legal expert. My lord, if I may conclude, this first petition before your lordship is different from the norm. It is, for one, dated 2012 compared to the other petitions which are dated 2021. For another, it is not someone who has just completed her study years and finished her pupillage. Your petitioner is one of those who has gone through the will of practical reality and now seeks to be accepted as a legal practitioner. I have no doubt that your petitioner will fulfill all the requirements that the law expects of her. Yang saya percaya pempetisyen adalah seorang yang layak untuk diterima masuk sebagai Peguam Bela Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya. Saya difahamkan bahawa semua surat cara dalam petisyen ini adalah lengkap, teratur dan sempurna dan tiada bantahan dari pihak Peguam Negara, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur. Justru yang Arif dengan penuh hormat dan sukacita, saya mohon kepada Mahkamah yang mulia ini untuk menerima masuk dan mendaftaraikan Fatin Hamim binti Ridwan sebagai Peguam Bela Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya. Mohon diperkenankan.
Peguam Negara.
Tahan bagi pihak Peguam Negara.
Majlis Peguam tiada bantahan, Arif.
Dalam kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur tiada bantahan, Arif.
Terima kasih. Oleh kerana semua kertas-kertas kausa telah teratur dan badan-badan yang berkenaan tidak mempunyai apa-apa bantahan terhadap petisyen ini, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan Pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Fatin Hamim binti Ridwan sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan nama Fatin Hamim binti Ridwan dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Saya ucapkan terima kasih kepada Yang Arif atas keputusan Mahkamah. Saya mohon izin Yang Arif bagi pempetisyen menyalurkan jubahnya sendiri.
Dipersilakan.
Terima kasih ya Arif.
Tanya.
Terima kasih ya.
Terima kasih. On Indon, I'm disposing a 2012 case today.
That's what I mentioned earlier.
Which is quite a feat.
It's more than 10 years. I'm surprised to see the dates.
Yeah.
By the way,
it clears my record anyway.
It's never too late.
Yeah.
And judges, lawyers never retire. They just lose their appeal.
All right. Next.
Terima kasih ya.
Thank you.
Dengan izinnya Arif, panggil pempetisyen kedua, nombor pempetisyen WA 18-36103-2021, Mariam Liana binti Ahmad Termizi. Sila perkenalkan diri anda.
Dengan izinnya Arif, saya Mariam Liana binti Ahmad Termizi, pempetisyen kedua.
Dipersilakan Tan Sri Abdul Hamid.
Terima kasih ya Arif. Saya Abdul Hamid Ambong, mewakili pempetisyen dan wakil-wakil kehormat dari Jabatan Peguam Negara, Majlis Peguam serta Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur yang sama mewakili pihak masing-masing. Ya Arif, dengan izin, sudah 28 tahun saya sendiri tidak menghadiri mahkamah sebagai seorang peguam. 1994 kali terakhir, ya Arif, saya menyarungi jubah peguam serta bib ini dan agak rasa teruja pagi ini. Dan tahun itu, 28 tahun terdahulu, saya mewakili sebagai peguam kanan persekutuan, mewakili Home Affairs, iaitu Kementerian Dalam Negeri dalam satu kes di Mahkamah Persekutuan. Dan yang Arif, sejak persaraan saya 2016, saya tidak pernah hadir di mana-mana mahkamah dan tidak ada rancangan untuk menghadiri mahkamah. Akan tetapi yang Arif, 2 minggu lepas, ya terima kasih Arif. 22 minggu lepas Arif, atas permintaan Dr. Ahmad Tamizi dan Dr. Kamaliah Nordin, ibu dan bapa kepada pempetisyen pagi ini, bagi saya sendiri menghadiri dan mengusul pempetisyen Mariam Liana, saya tanpa teragak-agak dan berbangga menghadiri mahkamah hari ini untuk mengusul dan pempetisyen ini untuk cucu saya sendiri, iaitu pempetisyen Mariam Liana. Dengan izinnya Arif, saya ingin meneruskan ucapan saya dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Dipersilakan.
Masyaallah, Lord, dan saya baca daripada teks yang telah diberi kepada saya. If it pleases you, my lord, the petitioner is the youngest daughter of 9 siblings from Dr. Ahmad Tamizi and Dr. Kamaliah Nordin. Growing up in a small university town in Skudai, Johor, the petitioner began her early education in Sekolah Rendah Islam Hidayah and then proceeded to complete her secondary education at Sekolah Menengah Islam Hidayah. She was an excellent and all-round student, gaining straight A's in her SPM while also actively representing a school locally and internationally in multiple debate tournaments in the Philippines, Korea, and other countries. Although earlier the petitioner had thought about studying medicine, to follow her sister and brother-in-law's footsteps, she ultimately settled for law, driven, I suppose, by her debating background. The petitioner began reading law at Ahmad Ibrahim Kuliah of Law, International Islamic University, Malaysia, IIUM, and took the opportunity offered at the university to join the double degree program. She studied to acquire 2 degrees concurrently. At the end of the petitioner's 5 years of studying, she was awarded 2 degrees, a Bachelor in Laws and a Bachelor in Laws Sharia. At the university, the petitioner continued her active co-curricular participation, where she represented her university in multiple debate tournaments locally and internationally, visiting countries like Slovenia, Australia, and Cambodia, to name a few. The petitioner also represented her university in mooting tournaments covering various areas of law, such as international humanitarian law, international commercial law, and competition law. Upon completion of the petitioner's studies in IIUM, the petitioner married her now husband, Muhammad Fahim bin Muhammad Fauzi. Soon after the wedding, the petitioner began her chambering under Mr. Alex de Silva of Messrs. Bodipala Punadure de Silva. While the petitioner was completing her 9 months as a chambering student, she was also pregnant with her first child. The petitioner is now a mother. The petitioner seeks a leave of this honorable court to express her deepest gratitude and appreciation for those who have either helped, encouraged, or inspired her in her achievements. Firstly, my Lord, the petitioner would like to say praise be to Allah, for it is His will that she is now able to do what she has done and what she will continue to do. Secondly, the petitioner would like to thank her parents, Dr. Ahmad Tamizi Ramli and Dr. Kamaliah Nordin, for their constant love, encouragement, and support through her early indecisiveness in choosing a career path. She would also like to congratulate her mother for completing her PhD at age 65. And I also take this opportunity to congratulate Dr. Kamaliah, my niece, and her mother for forever being the petitioner's inspiration. The petitioner is forever privileged to be born to such amazing parents. Thirdly, my Lord, the petitioner would like to thank her husband, Muhammad Fahim, for his unwavering support and understanding during her combined chambering and pregnancy period, for traveling all the way from Sepang to Mount Cara to drive the petitioner to and fro where she was too tired to do so, and reminding always the petitioner to take care of herself and not to stress herself too much because it will be detrimental to the baby. Muhammad Fahim has been such a wonderful husband, and the petitioner is ever grateful to him. Fourthly, my Lord, the petitioner would like to thank her master, Mr. Alex de Silva, for his guidance, support, valuable advice. She would also like to thank her seniors and colleagues at Messrs. Bodipala and Ponadore de Silva for their patience in guiding the novice probationer, a newcomer to the profession. Lastly, my Lord, the petitioner would like to extend her gratitude to her friends and peers from IIUM, because without them, the petitioner's journey achieving her degree would not have been so smooth. She would like to especially thank her friends Sam, Sue, Shamil, Harun, Arman, and Sarah, as it is with their unfaltering support that she got through the ups and downs of university life. Lastly, my lord, I'm honored to move the petitioner today as her grand uncle, and I hope that she will continue the family's proud legacy in law and in the legal fraternity. She is now the 6th lawyer in the family. Based on the pupillage training and that the petitioner has undergone through 9 months, I have no doubt whatsoever that the petitioner is indeed a fit and proper person to be admitted and enrolled as an advocate and solicitor of the High Court Malaya. Ya Arif, saya percaya segala kertas-kertas adalah teratur dan saya juga yakin iaitu pihak Peguam Negara, Majlis Peguam dan Majlis Kuala Lumpur Bar Committee respectively tidak ada bantahan kepada permohonan ini. Dengan itu Ya Arif, dengan rendah diri saya memohon untuk Pempetisyen diterima masuk dan didaftarkan sebagai seorang Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya. Dengan izin Ya Arif, saya dengan rendah diri memohon supaya Pempetisyen menyarung jubahnya sendiri. Terima kasih Ya Arif.
Peguam Negara.
Bantahan bagi pihak Peguam Negara Ya Arif.
Bahar Malaysia.
Majlis Peguam tiada bantahan Ya Arif.
Bahar Kuala Lumpur.
Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur tiada bantahan Ya Arif.
Oleh kerana pihak-pihak tidak mempunyai apa-apa bantahan dan semua kertas-kertas kausa adalah teratur, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan Pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Mariam Liana binti Ahmad Termizi sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan nama Mariam Liana binti Ahmad Termizi dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Terima kasih Ya Arif.
Ya Arif.
Ania.
Dengan izin Ya Arif, panggil Pempetisyen yang ketiga, nombor Pempetisyen WA 18-983-09-2021, Subashini anak perempuan Subramaniam. Sila perkenalkan diri anda.
Dengan izin Ya Arif, saya Subashini Subramaniam, Pempetisyen ketiga.
Persilakan Encik Subramaniam.
Dengan izin Ya Arif, saya Subramaniam Anjan hadir bagi pihak Pempetisyen Subashini Subramaniam pada hari ini. Rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang masing-masing mewakili yang berbahagia Peguam Negara Malaysia, Majlis Peguam Malaysia, Jawatan Peguam Kuala Lumpur yang telah pun diperkenalkan awal tadi, Yang Arif. Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya ingin memohon kebenaran Yang Arif untuk meneruskan ujahan saya dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Dipersilakan.
Much obliged, Yang Arif. Dengan izin Yang Arif. May I introduce the petitioner Subashini Subramaniam, Yang Arif. The petitioner was born on the 27th June 1996 in Kajang, Selangor, and is a third child of Mr. Subramaniam and Mrs. Yogeswari Senadaundan, which is my third daughter. And the petitioner had an early education in Sekolah Kebangsaan Jalan Bukit Kajang before continuing her secondary education in Sekolah Menengah Jalan Bukit Kajang, Selangor. The petitioner has set a mind on becoming a lawyer since she's 15, like the father. The petitioner read law at Multimedia University at Malacca campus, where she was graduated with an honor degree During a time at the university, the petitioner was actively involved in various extracurricular activities. Upon a completion of a degree, the petitioner commenced a pupillage in Mrs. Kali and Associate under the tutelage of Mr. Kalia Permal Muniandi. Today, the petitioner wished to take this opportunity to express her utmost gratitude to her family. She would like to thank her parents for their unwavering support and encouragement, without which she would not have been able to achieve any of the milestone in her life. Her parents never ceased to believe in her event in the face of failure and constantly push her to achieve great heights in life. No words can express how thankful the petitioner is to her parents for the love and sacrifices. The petitioner would also like to thank her sister Ashwini Subramaniam, Nivashini Subramaniam, and her brother-in-law Mukesh Rajendran for always being her confidant and source of inspiration. Yang Arif, the petitioner would like to thank her people master, Mr. Kalia Permal Muniandi, for providing her with the opportunities and guidance throughout her pupillage. The petitioner is also extremely grateful to her father, that is me, who's the mover today, who has kindly agreed to take time out of his very busy schedule to move a call. Lastly, Yang Arif, the petitioner would like to thank all her colleagues and Madam Vimala at Kali Associate for making her experience there a memorable one. Yang Arif, I believe the petitioner is a fit and proper person to be admitted and enrolled as an advocate and solicitor of this honorable court. I verily believe all the petitioner's papers are in order and that my learned friend from Yang Berbahagia Peguam Negara, the Bar Council, and the Kuala Lumpur Bar Committee respectively have no objection to this motion. I humbly move this honorable court to admit and enroll the petitioner Subhashini Subramaniam as an advocate and solicitor of High Court of Malaya.
Peguam Negara.
Tiada bantahan daripada pihak Peguam Negara, Yang Arif.
Terima kasih. Bank Malaysia.
Majlis Peguam tiada bantahan, Yang Arif.
Bank Kuala Lumpur.
Tiada bantahan, Yang Arif.
Terima kasih. Oleh kerana badan-badan yang berkenaan tidak mempunyai apa-apa bantahan terhadap petisyen ini dan semua kertas-kertas telah teratur, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Subhashini anak perempuan Subramaniam sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya, dan juga memerintahkan nama Subhashini anak perempuan Subramaniam dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Terima kasih, Yang Arif. Dengan izin, saya dengan ini memohon kebenaran Mahkamah Yang Mulia ini untuk pempetisyen menyarungkan jubahnya sendiri.
Dipersilakan.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Tahniah.
Much obliged, Yang Arif.
Thank you.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, panggil pempetisyen keempat, nombor pempetisyen WA 18-1050-09-2021, Chong Yue Tong. Sila perkenalkan diri anda.
Minta maaf Yang Arif. Yang Arif, jawatan kuasa Anita and Talia, for this petitioner, I appear for the Selangor Bar Committee. I thought I'd at least let Yang Arif know that. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm aware of it.
Thank you.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Chong Yue Tong, pempetisyen keempat.
Dipersilakan.
Minta maaf Yang Arif, nama saya Michael Yap Chi Hong. Saya amat meminta maaf kerana video saya ada sedikit isu. Saya tak boleh buka saya punya video. Tapi untuk tidak mengenal untuk menjalankan in order to ensure smooth expeditions of the proceedings, boleh saya dapat keizinan yang Arif untuk meneruskan tanpa video?
Dipersilakan.
Terima kasih Yang Arif. Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Michael Yap Chee Hong, pengusul yang mewakili Pempetisyen keempat Chong Yue Tong. Rakan-rakan bijaksana saya dari Jabatan Peguam Negara, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan Jawatan Kuasa Kuala Lumpur dan Selangor adalah seperti yang telah diperkenalkan sebentar tadi. Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya pohon kebenaran untuk meneruskan prosiding ini dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Dipersilakan.
My Lord, your humble petitioner Chong Yue Tong was born in Puchong, Selangor. She is the eldest daughter of Mr. Chong Tin Fat and Madam Chia Kwai Wan, and she is commonly known to her peers as Felicia. I made to understand that the petitioner has always wanted to become a lawyer since her days in primary school. That to me is remarkable, given that most of us may not have decided what we want to do in our lives at the verge of joining university. It was a dream occupation back then, and I'm sure that today's occasion is momentous and joyful to her and her family. The petitioner read law at the University of London External Programme and graduated with a second class in the upper division in the year of 2019. She thereafter pursued the CLP and passed the examination on her first sitting. The petitioner then commenced the pupillage at Messrs. Mahkamah and Philip Cole under the tutelage of my learned friend, Mr. Yap Boon Hao. On this special day, the petitioner would like to take this opportunity to express her gratitude to her parents for their unconditioned love, continuous financial and emotional support since she began her journey to read law, without which she will not be able to achieve any of her achievements in life. To her sister and brother, Ms. Chong Yue Chen and Mr. Chong Man Shen, the petitioner would like to thank them for always be there to support her and their patience and tolerance, especially during the period when she was preparing for exams. The petitioner would like to thank her pupil master, Mr. Yap Boon Hao, for providing her with invaluable experience and knowledge throughout her 9 months of pupillage. During that period, she was exposed to skillful advocacy and professionalism in formulating workable strategies to protect clients' interests, particularly in the area of dispute resolution. And I hope to see the petitioner regularly appearing in court someday. Besides, the petitioner would like to especially thank the partners and associates in Mahkamah and Philip Cole who had given the petitioner a chance to learn and prepare herself and explore further in depth into the legal practice. She would also like to pay tribute to Ms. Ong Cairo for her patience and guidance. And I'm made to understand from Ms. Ong Cairo, who happens to be my wife, that the petitioner was a diligent, industrious, and reliable person, and she has no doubt that the petitioner will have a successful and lasting career at the bar. To all her cheerful pupil mates and wonderful colleagues in Mrs. Mahkamah and Philip Cole for the kind assistance and guidance. To all her good friends, especially Mr. Aaron Tai Lan Soon, Ms. Lee Xiao Yen, Ms. Chan Fei Bi, Ms. Ng Yit Peng, Mr. Hugh Min Si, and Mr. Raphael Tumonori for being great listeners and giving her continuous support during this journey. Lastly, my Lord, the petitioner expresses her appreciation to those who have kindly made time to share and witness this very meaningful and joyful occasion with us. My Lord, I very believe that the petitioner is a fit and proper person to be admitted and enrolled as an advocate and solicitor of this honourable court. I believe all the petitioner's papers are in order and that my learned friends from the Attorney General's Chambers, the Bar Council, and the Selangor Bar Committee have no objections to this motion. Ya Arif, saya dengan rendah diri memohon agar Pempetisyen keempat Chong Yue Tong diterima masuk dan didaftarai sebagai seorang peguam Bela dan peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya. Dengan izin Yang Arif.
Peguam Negara.
Ada bantahan daripada pihak Peguam Negara Yang Arif.
Terima kasih. Bar Malaysia.
Majlis Peguam tiada bantahan Yang Arif.
Bar Selangor.
No objections, my lord.
Terima kasih. Oleh kerana semua badan-badan yang berkenaan tidak mempunyai apa-apa bantahan terhadap petisyen ini dan oleh kerana semua kertas-kertas telah teratur, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan Pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Chong Yue Tong sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan nama Chong Yue Tong dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, pohon kebenaran mahkamah untuk pempetisyen menjubahkan dirinya sendiri.
Dipersilakan.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Tahniah.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, panggil pempetisyen kelima, nombor pempetisyen WA 18-1077-09-2021, Chua Chun Yang. Sila perkenalkan diri anda.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya Chua Chun Yang, pempetisyen kelima.
Dipersilakan Cikgu.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya Go Cik Kang, Peguam pengusul bagi pihak pempetisyen kelima, dan rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang mewakili Yang Berbahagian Peguam Negara Malaysia, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur masing-masing yang mana telah pun diperkenalkan awal tadi. Dengan izin Arif, sebelum saya bermula, saya dengan rendah diri memohon kebenaran mahkamah supaya boleh memberikan sebab sedikit latar belakang pempetisyen dan juga perasaan beliau pada hari ini dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Persilakan.
Much obliged, my lord. May it please your lordship, your humble petitioner was born in a small kampong in Penang Island to Mr. Chua Boon Tong and Madam Tan Chui Beng. He is the youngest in the family, with Dr. Chua Chien Yang as his elder brother and Dr. Chua Su Ying as his only sister. When he was young, he was a rebel that did everything as he liked, without listening to anyone or much care to the consequences. He often required the attendance of his parents in school before the disciplinary teacher, but despite all these experiences, the petitioner's parents never gave up on the petitioner and continued to guide and nurture the petitioner into who he is today. Nevertheless, at the age of 16, a sudden moment of realization comes to the petitioner where he realized that he had to focus in his future and stop being playful. The petitioner wished to emphasize that not only the petitioner's parents played a part in this, his siblings also contributed to this sudden change of petitioner's attitude. Thereafter, he strived in his high school's exam, obtained a scholarship, and the rest was history. To this note, the petitioner would like to thank his parents for never giving up on him and always guiding, supporting, and be with him whenever he needs them. And to this, the petitioner would like to seize the opportunity today to tell his parents, "Thank you. I truly appreciate and love you both, Mom and Dad." At the same time, the petitioner also wished to say thank you and I love you all to his brother, sister, and his pet dog, Rocky. My lord, after being conferred with the degree of Bachelor of Law Honour, the petitioner commends his pupillage in Messrs. Sidang, Teo, Wong, and Dennis under the guidance and tutelage of my learned friend, Mr. Daniel Chua Chen Yen. Throughout his pupillage, the petitioner has been given extensive opportunities and exposures to civil litigation, where he has learned and grown under the wing of Mr. Daniel. The petitioner would like to say that the 9-month journey was without a doubt a very rewarding one, which he expressly thanks Mr. Daniel for every single moment and extend the same to Dato John Clark, Mr. Aiman, Miss Kezak, Mak Ina, and Miss Nora. Last but not least, my lord, the petitioner would like to specially thank his almost 4 years girlfriend, Joanna Cheong, who has been with him through the ups and downs since his days in law school. The petitioner shares that she has been playing a very big and important part in his life up to this day. Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya percaya bahawa pempetisyen merupakan seorang yang berkelayakan di bawah Akta Profesional Undang-Undang 1976 untuk diterima masuk dan didaftarai sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya. Dan saya percaya bahawa kesemua kertas-kertas kausa pempetisyen adalah teratur. Saya juga yakin bahawa rakan-rakan bijaksana saya dari Yang Berbahagian Peguam Negara Malaysia, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur masing-masing tiada bantahan ke atas petition ini. Oleh yang demikian, Yang Arif, saya dengan rendah diri memohon supaya pempetisyen Chua Chun Yang diterima masuk dan didaftarai sebagai seorang Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Peguam Negara.
Tiada bantahan daripada pihak Peguam Negara, Yang Arif.
Terima kasih.
Majlis Peguam tiada bantahan, Yang Arif.
Terima kasih.
Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur tidak bertanya, Arif.
Terima kasih. Oleh kerana badan-badan yang berkenaan tidak mempunyai apa-apa bantahan terhadap petisyen penerimaan masuk ini dan semua kertas-kertas kausa adalah teratur, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan dan permohonan pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Chua Chun Yang sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan nama Chua Chun Yang dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Terima kasih, Yang Arif. Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya juga dengan rendah diri memohon keizinan mahkamah supaya bagi pempetisyen menjubahkan dirinya sendiri.
Dipersilakan.
Terima kasih, Yang Arif.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Tania.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, panggil pempetisyen ke-6, nombor pempetisyen WA 18-1091-09-2021, Chan Chin Shen. Sila perkenalkan diri anda.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Chan Chin Shen, pempetisyen ke-6.
Silakan Cik Tan.
Terima kasih Arif. Dengan izin Arif, nama saya Tan Lek Wei, hadir pada hari ini bagi pihak pempetisyen Chan Chin Shen. Bersama-sama dengan saya adalah rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang masing-masing mewakili yang berbahagia Peguam Negara Malaysia, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur adalah seperti mana yang telah diperkenalkan awal tadi. Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya dengan rendah diri ingin memohon kebenaran Yang Arif untuk meneruskan ucapan saya dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Dipersilakan.
Much obliged, my lord. May it please this court, I seek your lordship's indulgence to allow me to introduce the petitioner, Ms. Chan Chin Shen. The petitioner was born on 11th of August 1998 in Penang and is the eldest child of Mr. Chan Sun Yong and Madam Lu B. The petitioner had her early education in SJKC Kong Min Cawangan Kedua before continuing her secondary education in Penang Chinese Girls High School in Penang. The petitioner read law at Multimedia University, Malacca, and graduated with honours in July 2021. Upon completion of her studies, the petitioner commenced a pupillage in Mrs. Hajilin Chan under the tutelage of Ms. Cheong Li Hua. During her pupillage, the petitioner was given the opportunity to explore in the areas of conveyancing, corporate and civil litigation with the firm, which gave the petitioner invaluable insight into the legal practice. The petitioner is grateful to have undergone a fulfilling journey throughout her pupillage. My lord, today the petitioner would like to take this opportunity to express her utmost gratitude and appreciation to her family. She would like to thank her parents, Mr. Chan Sun Yong and Madam Lu B, for their constant love, support, and encouragement, without which she would not have been able to achieve any of the milestones in her life. On top of that, the petitioner hereby would also like to specially mention that her beloved father, Mr. Chan Sun Yong, who is currently working in the United States, is actually watching her live ceremony at this moment. The petitioner hopes that her father, Mr. Chan, could share the joy with her on this special day and be proud of her. The petitioner would also like to thank her siblings, Ms. Ellie Chan and Mr. Benjamin Chan, for being there for her at all times. The petitioner wishes to thank her pupil master, Ms. Cheong Li Hua, and all her colleagues at Mrs. Hajilin Chan for their guidance and patience throughout her pupillage. In addition, the petitioner is also indebted to her friends for sharing her joys and sorrows during her law studies and pupillage. The petitioner would also like to thank Mr. Vincent Tay for his sincere support and encouragement for the past few years. Last but not least, the petitioner is also extremely grateful to her mover, who has kindly agreed to take time out of his busy schedule to move her call. Yang Arif, saya percaya bahawa pempetisyen adalah seorang yang layak untuk diterima masuk dan didaftaraikan sebagai seorang peguam bela dan peguam cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya. Saya juga percaya bahawa segala dokumen dan surat cara adalah teratur dan lengkap. Saya selanjutnya percaya bahawa rakan-rakan bijaksana saya juga tiada bantahan terhadap petisyen ini. Oleh yang demikian, saya dengan penuh hormat dan rendah diri memohon satu perintah daripada Mahkamah yang mulia ini agar pempetisyen Chan Chin Shen diterima masuk dan didaftaraikan sebagai seorang peguam bela dan peguam cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Negara.
Tiada bantahan daripada pihak Peguam Negara Yang Arif.
Terima kasih. Malaysia.
Majlis Peguam tiada bantahan Yang Arif.
Selangor.
For this is Kuala Lumpur Yang Arif and no objections.
Terima kasih. Oleh kerana badan-badan yang berkenaan tidak mempunyai apa-apa bantahan terhadap petisi ini dan oleh kerana semua kertas-kertas kausa telah teratur, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Chan Chin Shun sebagai Peguam Bela dan Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan nama Chan Chin Shun dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Terima kasih Yang Arif. Dengan keizinan Yang Arif, saya juga dengan rendah diri memohon kebenaran untuk pempetisyen menjubahkan dirinya sendiri.
Dipersilakan.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Terima kasih.
Thanks.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, panggil pempetisyen ke-7, nombor pempetisyen WA 18-1095-09-2021, Fong Long Choi. Sila perkenalkan diri anda.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Fong Long Choi, pempetisyen ke-7.
Dipersilakan Encik Raja Kumar.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Raja Kumar Raja Kandan mewakili pempetisyen ke-7, Mr. Fong Long Choi. Rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang berhormat Peguam Negara Malaysia, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur dan Selangor telah pun diperkenalkan sebentar tadi. Yang Arif, dengan izin saya ingin memohon kebenaran untuk meneruskan hujahan saya dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Dipersilakan.
Thank you, my lord. If it pleases the court, my lord, if I may be allowed to introduce the petitioner, Mr. Fong Long Choi. The petitioner was born on the 22nd of May 1991 in the heart of Malacca. The petitioner is the firstborn to Mr. Fong Kong Meng and Madam Lee Gyok Hyong. He received his primary education in Sekolah Kebangsaan St. Francis, secondary education in SMK Tun Tua, and pre-university education in SMK Gajah Berang. Being the oldest in the family, he was often taunted as being very opinionated and argumentative. I'm sure he was a pain to his parents, but those were the characteristics that he thought would make for a defender of those who cannot speak for themselves. Determined and armed with that goal, he continued to read law in the University of London International Program at the Advanced Tertiary College ATC Kuala Lumpur. The petition tells me his journey into the legal profession was a long and winding one, but he was resilient, armed with the undying support and encouragement from his family and friends. The petitioner graduated from law school and then passed the Certificate of Legal Practice examination in August of 2021 before pursuing his pupillage at Messrs. Belden under the tutelage of the able and charismatic Adrian C. My lord, on this joyous occasion, the petitioner would like to first and foremost express his utmost gratitude to his father, Mr. Fong Kong Meng, his mother, Madam Lee Gyok Hyong, his little sister, Ms. Fong Miu Lam, little brother Fong Long Hua, and his partner and love of his life, he says, Miss Michelle Larissa, for always believing in him and standing by him throughout his journey. The petitioner would also like to give thanks to his uncle, Mr. Fong Kok Leong, for his support in the final years of the petitioner's legal education. At the work front, the petitioner would like to express sincere gratitude to his pupil master, Mr. Adrian C., for giving the petitioner the opportunity to learn about construction law practice under his guidance. The petitioner is also forever grateful to Mr. Belden Premaraj, Mr. Ki Meng Fai, Terence Law, and Oliver Chin, all of whom from Mrs. Belden, for their guidance and opportunity given throughout his pupillage. Not forgetting his pupil mates, past and present associates, Julian Chen, Yufen, Zeni, Leng Yang, Hong Kiat, Chiang, Hong Tiang Po, Clayman Keeley, Ezra, and Ano. My lord, I apologize. He's a very famous man. He has a lot of people to say thanks to. And apparently not forgetting the support staff as well, in Mrs. Belden, Ms. Rosma, Zaleha, Wati, Dayang, Sharmila, Viji, and Fatihin for making his pupillage fruitful and memorable. The petitioner would also like to give special thanks to his mentor during his internship, Mr. Kabe Dillon, who introduced him to civil litigation and also taught him how to navigate through the legal practice. To all the petitioner's friends, childhood, and in his adulthood, those who can't be especially named here, he is most grateful for them to be by their side. Young Arif, I believe the petitioner is a fit and proper person to be admitted and enrolled as an advocate and solicitor of the High Court of Malaya. I have been informed that the petitioner's papers are all in order and that my learned friends from the AG's Chambers Bar Council, KL or Selangor Bar Community, respectively have no objections to this petition. Dengan itu Yang Arif, dengan izin saya rendah diri memohon kepada Mahkamah yang Mulia ini agar Pempetisyen ke-7 Encik Fong Long Choi diterima masuk dan didaftaraikan sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Malaya Tinggi Malaya.
Peguam Negara.
Tiada bantahan daripada pihak Peguam Negara Yang Arif.
Majlis Peguam tiada bantahan Yang Arif.
Terima kasih. Kuala Lumpur.
Tiada bantahan Yang Arif.
Terima kasih. Oleh kerana badan-badan yang berkenaan tidak mempunyai apa-apa bantahan terhadap petisyen ini, dan oleh kerana semua kertas-kertas telah teratur, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan Pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Fong Long Choi sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan nama Fong Long Choi dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Terima kasih Yang Arif. Dengan izin, saya dengan rendah diri memohon kebenaran untuk Pempetisyen untuk menyarungkan jubahnya sendiri.
Dipersilakan.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Tanya.
Izinnya Arif. Terima kasih kepada kesemua wakil jabatan dan peguam pengusul. Tahniah juga diucapkan kepada semua pempetisyen yang telah didaftarkan sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya. Diminta sekali lagi diingatkan agar tuan-puan kekal di kedudukan masing-masing dan tidak menutup video walaupun setelah selesai ucapan dari Yang Arif Hakim. Dengan ini, saya menjemput Yang Arif Hakim untuk memberikan ucapan. Dengan izin Yang Arif.
Terima kasih. Puan Nazmi Erina binti Zainal, Peguam Kanan Persekutuan yang mewakili Peguam Negara Malaysia, Encik Tan Mesin Chong yang mewakili Majlis Peguam, dan Puan Anita Natalia yang mewakili Jawatankuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur dan Jawatankuasa Peguam Selangor, serta tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang dapat mengikuti sidang ini dari dalam talian di mana saja tuan-tuan dan puan-puan berada. Izinkan saya memberikan sedikit ucapan kepada peguam-peguam baru yang kita raikan pada pagi ini. Sekali lagi, saya mengucapkan tahniah kepada Cik Fatin Hamim bin Radwan, Cik Mariam Liana binti Ahmad Tarmizi, Cik Subashini anak perempuan Subramaniam, Cik Chong Yu Tong, Cik Chua Chun Yang, Cik Chan Chin Shun dan Cik Fong Long Choi kerana telah diterima masuk sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya. Dengan memakai jubah masing-masing secara sendiri sebentar tadi, maka lengkaplah dan sempurnalah tuan-tuan dan puan-puan sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan hanya perlu mendapatkan sijil annual dan sijil amalan sahaja untuk membolehkan tuan-tuan dan puan-puan menjalankan amalan di mana-mana mahkamah di Malaya. Di Amerika Syarikat, majlis graduasi atau convocation dipanggil sebagai commencement ceremony. Commencement ceremony is an event which celebrates the completion of academic programs. Commencement denotes a beginning which is quite relevant to our ceremony this morning, since being admitted as an advocate and solicitor is the beginning of a long professional journey. It is not and never a destination. This morning, I would like to talk on the need of a solicitor to discharge his or her duty with professionalism and candidness. The need to be candid is all the more important when you cite an authority in court. For example, you should not refer to an authority which you know has been overruled. This is a complete no-no. Under Rule 21B of the Legal Profession, Practice and Etiquette Rules, 1978, it is improper for an advocate and solicitor with knowledge of its invalidity to cite as authority a decision that has been overruled or a statute that has been repealed. Lord Hoffman, in delivering his speech in Arthur J.S. Hall and Company against Simons, 2002 1AC 615 HL, remarked as follows, and I quote, "Lawyers conducting litigation owe a divided loyalty. They have a duty to their clients, but they may not win by whatever means. They also owe a duty to the court and the administration of justice. They may not mislead the court or allow the judge to take what they know to be a bad point in their favor. They must cite all relevant law, whether for or against their case," unquote. So what if you are not aware of the case that you have just cited is no longer good law because it has been overruled? Once this is pointed to you by either the court or the opposite counsel, what you need to do is to thank the party who alerted you and apologize. Inform the parties that you are unaware of the case being overruled and move on. If you are not sure and you need further time to make research, then inform the court and ask for the hearing to be stood down. I cannot help but to refer to the judgment of the learned Chief Justice in Nivesh Nair and Laki Mohan against Dato Abdul Razak bin Musa, 2021 5 MLJ 320 FC. In delivering the judgment of the court, her ladyship remarked as follows, and I quote, "We pause for a moment here to note that our case law is replete with reminders to advocates, whether from the bar or public service, of the onerous duties of those in the legal profession. The highest duty of counsel, the duty which supersedes his or her duty to the client, is his duty to the court, which remains paramount in the administration of justice. Counsel are expected to make out their client's case to the best of their abilities, but they cannot adopt the mindset that they must win at all costs. If that result is misleading the court or appropriating and reprobating before different panels of the courts," unquote. Although you might not realize this, your attempt to highlight all the relevant case laws, whether they are for or against you, will always leave a positive mark on the trial judge. It sets you apart from other practitioners. And in the final analysis, it is what that counts. Another aspect of practice is that at the early stage, you must learn to manage stage fright. One should realize that even senior lawyers get nervous at times. Though I do not mean to discourage you, except that nervousness is always part of us during our early years of practice. That is normal. I can assure you that it will gradually go away as experience creeps in. Once you reach that stage, you will start to enjoy practice more and more as you meet new clients and new challenges. My only hope is that it comes sooner rather than later. Saya juga mengambil kesempatan ini untuk mengucapkan terima kasih kepada peguam-peguam pengusul yang telah meluangkan masa kepada tuan dan puan-puan pada pagi ini. Saya yakin ia amat bermakna kepada Pempetisyen. Lebih-lebih lagi, ia dibuat tanpa sebarang fee, sama ada getting up fees atau refresher. Secara khususnya, saya ingin menzahirkan ucapan terima kasih kepada my countrymen, Tan Sri Dato' Sri Abdul Hamid Umbong, Peguam Pengusul Cik Mariam Liana, whose uncle, apparently, Ahmad Faizan bin Nordin, was my classmate in Kemaman 50 years ago. To the uninitiated, Tan Sri is one of the most influential and eminent jurists in modern Malaysia. Tan Sri was one of the members who presented the Judicial Appointment Commission, who interviewed me before my elevation to the bench. Banyak perkara yang kita lakukan bersama-sama semasa Tan Sri menjadi Hakim Mahkamah Persekutuan. Semuanya akan tinggal kenangan manis kita berdua, tetapi memadailah saya katakan bahawa apa-apa yang kami lakukan adalah semuanya honorable belaka. Kepada ahli-ahli keluarga dan rakan-rakan Pempetisyen yang mengikuti prosiding ini dari jauh dan dekat, hari ini adalah hari menyambut kejayaan mereka. Kepada Pempetisyen, apa juga pilihan tuan-tuan dan puan-puan selepas ini, sama ada sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara, in-house, legal executive, pakar mediasi atau perkhidmatan undang-undang dan kehakiman seperti SFC Puan Izmi Elina, Mahkamah mengambil kesempatan ini untuk mengucapkan selamat maju jaya dalam karier pilihan tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang amat dihormati ini. All the best, and wherever you are, always stay safe. Thank you.
Terima kasih, Arif. Diminta tuan-puan kekal di video masing-masing kerana terdapat sesi fotografi sebentar lagi. Boleh betulkan kedudukan tuan-puan?
Bidem? Thank you.
Terima kasih, Arif.
Thank you. Thank you. Terima kasih semua ya.
Terima kasih.
Alright.
Terima kasih Arif, and for your kind words. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Much obliged, Arif. Much obliged.
Alright.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Terima kasih semua. Selesai sudah prosiding pada hari ini. Tuan-puan boleh delete video masing-masing. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Tuan.
Terima kasih.
Tuan.
Congratulations everyone.
Congratulations, everyone. Thank you.